This is Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Sunday on a Wednesday is always a great way to kick things off, isn't it? Sunday Aryang from the West Coast Fever.
Heard
Your own
before.
thing. Oh, you've heard it all before. Sorry,
yeah.
Sunday.
No, it's okay.
Good
It's
morning.
life for me. Everyday thing, but
By the way, we've got a double pass. Check out the West Coast Fever take on the Queensland Firebirds. Sunday, RAC Arena. As we know, Nat's box. Another opportunity
Yes.
coming up later on.
This isn't in my box. This is just outside my box.
You can feel the fever and join the Green Army. Get your West Coast Fever tickets at Ticketek now, 13 24 10. Caller number 2 will get those tickets. And it's kind of a bit of a State of Origin. State of Origin's on tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you have any allegiance in the rugby? And have you
In
do
the
you
rugby
give
league.
a second thought about
Do
it?
you care who wins between New South Wales and
I
Queensland?
feel like I've caught you off guard
She's
here.
blank stare.
I have zero alliances with anyone in that. But I would probably say, should I go for the Blues?
If you
Why
want.
not? Why not?
Yeah, I go for
There's
the
no
Blues.
wrong
then.
answer here.
I like the colour blue, so I'll
Yeah,
go for
is it because I'm wearing blue? Is that...
But it is WA, the West Coast Fever taking
Yeah.
on Queensland this weekend. The Firebirds. You can take them down and keep the roll going.
Honestly, we're excited to get another home game under our belts. But yeah, we're looking forward to playing them. Last time we played them, they did give us a bit of a belting. So
Yeah, no, that won't be
Things
happening.
change.
Yeah.
We're in the Janelle era now, so it's fine. And now let's talk about you, because how good were you last week? Oh my God, MVP. MVP.
well,
Don't shrug it off. You were actually brilliant. You
thank
played
you.
so well.
Thank you. No, it's actually really good because during our week leading into it, we really do have like a big focus on like, if we do this, it's going to shut them down. So we had a big focus of just like grinding, doing my job, and then eventually at some point just coming off and having a look for ball, and that's pretty much
Yeah,
what we
there was a lot of intercepts and deflections.
Deflections.
did. Yeah, just got to get hand on ball.
Yeah, Sunday.
secret.
In the lead up to the ball coming in, defending, how physical can you be?
Well, personally, me, I'm not a very physical player. I'm like a bit off the body. So there's not much of that. But I think I just try to hold him up as much as possible, make my attacker work as much as possible.
What do you mean?
Like just pretty much keep them out of the circle.
Okay.
That's
Get to
all
the
I
spot
do.
first.
Yeah.
A lot of it's getting to the spot first and making them
If
have
they're
to
not
change.
in the circle, they can't shoot a goal, Shaun.
Yep.
No, I totally get that. I just think that, because I was watching my daughter play defence for the first time
Oh,
on
right.
the weekend, right? And I said, you got to be more physical, mate. Before the ball comes in,
Oh my
you just got
God.
to
Non-contact.
You don't know what you're talking about.
You can't overdo it though.
Can you?
because
You can.
you can't hold him.
Can you shield though? You can put your hands out in front and defend
No,
like that.
You'll get caught for
only
contact.
if they've
For
got
holding.
the ball. If you've got the ball in your three
No.
feet
Before
away.
the balls come, right?
No, you can't do that.
Why not?
You get caught for contact.
But I'm not. But I'm out in
That's-
front of
that's
them. I'm in front of you.
Obstruction.
I'm like this.
yeah, they'll
can't
say
put
you're
your arms
blocking
out,
their
yeah.
like way, pretty much.
Yeah, that's the idea.
No, you can't.
you can't do
You
that.
can't do it with your arms. So you're wrong, Shaun. Stop giving netball
But
advice.
netball at the top level, it's physical.
I know,
Yeah, but
you
we don't do
know what
that.
you're talking about.
I just want to see more. You know.
Hey, Sunny, this is a message for Shaun's daughter, Sunny. Sunny, for yet another reason, don't listen to your father.
Yeah. Sunday, just quickly, there's a lot of downtime where you're right with your opponent, right? Is there any conversations you're having?
No, there's no time for talking.
Okay.
There's not a
Half
lot
the
of
time I'm
downtime.
trying to breathe, like
Well, they
catch my
gotta-
breath. So
You've got to get the ball back to the centre.
I know, but they're always moving.
Yeah, well, maybe so how's your day? You know, how's
oh no, none of that.
No.
What about if you,
Can't be asking.
what about if you touch the ball again? I'm going to break your finger.
No.
Stop putting AFL rules on netball.
But do you get like this
Should I
is full
try
on
it?
stuff? You're playing top level sport, and you know you guys have played in big time finals.
No.
Do you get angry?
No, we're not like that.
Why not?
We're very nice on the netball court.
You got to
I
change
think here
that.
and there there's stuff, but no, I'll break your finger if you.
Seems a bit over the top, doesn't it?
Do you stand on their toes?
People stand
least.
on my toes.
Well, that's-
Yeah, I don't do it though.
why not?
No.
I'm a nice person on
Yeah,
the court.
she's a fair and just
Yeah.
player, Shaun.
All right.
She doesn't need to resort to these tactics.
I mean, you got to play funny buggers all the time, whoever you're playing against. So do you just get them into being nice and then they
Lull
drop
them
their
in.
guard?
like
Yeah.
attack them.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my game plan.
Yeah. She's smiling all the time, and they're like, "Oh, she's lovely. Look at her go."
yeah.
Smiling assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. When you came in, I was complimenting you on your shoes, and you're with Nike, and you were telling us you get a little delivery every now and then. It must be so exciting.
Yeah, it feels like Christmas pretty much every month. So, no, love my Nike packages that come. They send so many good
So you got
gear.
one yesterday, yeah?
I did. And there was about 4 pair of shoes, 4 pair of court shoes and
Yep.
some runners, which was very nice. So I'll be giving them a test today at training.
So when that parcel turns up, though, you've got other brothers and sisters. I mean, Ruth's one of them. She's
Yep.
a different shoe size, luckily. Otherwise, she'd be right in there, wouldn't she?
Yeah. Oh, they're already in there anyways, and they have a look at what it is and check it out and stuff. But
Your
yeah,
little brother's just going through all your stuff. Yeah,
he
right.
loves it. He loves it. But he's a size 14, so there's no way.
Okay,
that
that's
he could.
good. There's no
Yeah,
crossover.
perfect.
Size 14. Do you get the opportunity when you're away to be able to pick them up something? Because if you're getting 4 pairs of shoes,
Yeah,
can't wear them all.
there is a lot of picking up stuff for all of my siblings and my parents as
Yeah,
well.
good.
But my little brother is always on my back about like, oh, get me these shoes, sends me screenshots of shoes that he wants, and I just kind of messaged my person at Nike, and they always end up like hooking us up. So it's
'Cause
really
he's,
nice.
he's
That
the
is so cool.
basketballer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a
he's
basketballer.
quite a promising basketballer.
Yeah.
So he might be, in his own right, getting his own box of Nike.
Maybe
shoes.
one day, one day, his dreams will come true.
he'll have his own signature shoe.
I know, imagine they're just going to be backing up the whole Nike truck to the Aryang household. It's like, oh, there's so many of them here. He's just some all amazing athletes.
But no, he loves it. He gets so much benefits out of it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. How old is
Lucky
he?
kid.
He's only 15 or something.
He's only
isn't he?
15.
Yeah.
You got to have someone in your family you can bleed. That's how I see it.
Oh, yeah, he bleeds me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, runs me dry.
And so who do you
Ross, do you feel?
Yeah, well, I guess I get. No, I don't know. None of us get all this free stuff.
No, that's where the one's being bled.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Okay, yeah,
They're
right.
coming to us
Yeah.
with the freebies.
It's not as fun, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not.
You'd be bled, right, Sean?
No, he's like,
left, right, and centre.
what about when your
kids.
son was working at Rip Curl? There was a bit of bleeding going the
Oh,
other
no,
way.
I killed
Yeah.
it. I killed it. It was a rip curl. I was dominating. You should have seen it. It was unreal.
Are those rip curls right now?
I changed. Well, he's finished for 2 years, so I had to buy a new pair when I was away. I was fuming because I paid full price. I was so flat.
Sunday, good luck on Sunday. I'm going to be there cheering you on. We have an opportunity to join me in my box coming up shortly, actually, so stick around.
Great opportunity. Food, drinks, premium
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Sunday will be dominating. She's
Great
going to
view.
back-to-back BOGs.
Yeah. That's
Sure, it's like a sport AFL segment with Sunday.
Mate, I'm looking forward to it being physical. When
Yeah.
they play finals, and they will this year, and then she's going to catch...
Sean's
Everyone's
attitude
going to be
to
off guard
netball
because they
is-
won't see it coming.
Sean's attitude to netball is bring back the biff.
Defense wins championships. Step on the toes, elbow on the guts, whatever it takes. Break a finger.
Very fair play. Don't worry about that. Thanks, Sunday.
Thanks, Sunday.
I'll see you on
Thank you.
Sunday.
Shaun Sport in podcast form.
Few things to cover. Firstly, the Margaret River Pro finished yesterday.
Yes.
Geordie Smith taking out the men's. Gabrielle Bryant, who took out the women's for the second time in
Yeah,
2
well done,
years,
Gabby.
which is well done. She was awesome, by the way. Love the way she surfs. But when the men's final came around, there
Bit
was
of a
not
fizzer?
many. Yeah, wasn't many waves.
No waves.
And Geordie caught the first relatively big wave within about 3 minutes of them sitting out in the ocean, and it was a good one, and he surfed it well.
Yeah.
And then after that, Griffin Colapinto, who was up against, nothing came, and they just sat there.
He's the guy that did the very impressive 360 and everything and scored a perfect 10 in the round a couple of days before. And you just go, well, that's a fizzer.
You want them
What
to be
a
able to
shame.
compete, and I know it's
Yeah.
the ocean, and this happens a lot,
I
but
know.
you want them to be able to compete on level pegging.
Yeah.
And then we'll see who the best is.
Do you feel a bit for the commentators who had to do 25 minutes
Yeah.
of like
Oh,
padding?
Ross, the amount of times they just went to highlights.
Yeah, okay.
Like they just go, here's a recap of the week. And
Yeah.
they just went back and forth. So that was very
It's a
interesting.
long half hour, isn't it?
Hey, tonight, State of Origin gets underway.
Yes.
How do you feel about State of Origin, Nat? Do you buy in at all? Do you watch it?
Not really. I did have a Queensland scarf for a while because one of my friends moved to Brisbane and she sent me one for Lewis, my dog, because he was born in Queensland, so
Oh, that makes
he
sense.
is a Queenslander. So
makes sense.
that's where my allegiance lies.
Oh, of
Your
course,
dog.
he'll be watching it
Because
tonight.
my dog is a Queenslander. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll watch-
You would relate the State Origin to Lewis.
I mean, I have no allegiance one way or
Lewis
another,
does.
but
That's
my
real.
dog does.
That's
so,
real.
Yeah.
Ross?
I lived in the Gold Coast for 1 year, so I was obliged, obviously.
Was it a pleasant experience?
It was up and down.
So you're obliged to be a
yeah,
Queenslander?
yeah, definitely go for the Queens. It was good when you watch it because it's intense. Everyone gets into it, and
Yes.
So yeah, I enjoyed that part. But now you just
Amy, our producer, the boss,
Yep.
Who are you with, Amy?
Queenslander.
Why?
So my husband was born in Brisbane.
Oh,
So
okay.
he still calls
Well, that's not as
himself a
legitimate as my dog
Queenslander.
being born there, but okay.
Yeah,
Are your
yeah.
kids into it too?
Yeah, they actually like this one. They don't mind it.
All right. I think a lot of people will be watching it.
Are they both Queenslanders too?
No.
Oh, there's a bit of rebellion in the house.
Yes. So Charlotte will just pick with,
Go along,
On the night.
go with the flow.
But James likes to be rebellious against his father.
Sorry,
I like that.
And we'll go for the Blues and we'll say it. He said it last night at dinner. I'm going for the Blues, Dad.
And remind us how old James is, rebelling already.
6, just turned 6.
Yeah. Well, the Blues are coming off a State of Origin victory last year.
Yeah, that's true.
They've haven't won 2 in a row against Queensland at Suncorp, because the last game was at
Yes.
Suncorp, since the 80s type of stuff. So they get the chance to go in there and do that again. But
Yep.
Queensland up against it. Billy Slater leading the team.
Yeah, and of
barely
course-
lost.
The next match is here.
Yes,
So that's
which is going to be
exciting.
great.
Game 2 is going to be here, yeah.
Righto, let's put that aside.
Yep,
The
let's
Wildcats.
get to it.
Yes, Bryce Cotton. There was talk last week, and we got stuck into this about the Bryce Cotton coming out and having a bit of a go at the West Australian because of what they said about him being the lying
Rightly
king.
so. What they did, that was a poor back page.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they do those ones, it gets Australia-wide
I know.
attention, and then they say, look what they're doing in
I know.
WA.
But it's not good. It's not good attention.
It doesn't represent
There is
us.
such a thing as negative attention.
Absolutely, Nat. So the podcast, again, that he was on has released some more
Yes.
information. They're doing it slowly, which has been good because it grabs our attention.
Yeah.
And Bryce is telling us in this that it wasn't his decision to leave the Perth Wildcats. Let's hear from Bryce.
I didn't technically leave. So the Wildcats parted ways with me because I wasn't willing to give an answer back in March. Like, not being on no cocky or no arrogant shit, but like, bro, I just had one of the greatest seasons in NBL history, and I'm a free agent for the first time in forever. Like, it couldn't have been better time.
Coming off
now,
of the MVP.
that's not to say, I'm out of here, but I'd be a fool to not see, like, let's just see what else is out here.
So he's saying he wanted to test the waters at the end of the season, the last season, and Wildcats wanted him to commit immediately. And he's like, hang on, I'm a free agent, just let me see what's out there. And because they couldn't agree on that, they said,
March
all
was the
right,
deadline.
see you later. Essentially, that's what happened, right?
That's exactly what he's saying, Nat. Now, in his right, okay, so he's the best player that we've ever had at the
Yep.
Wildcats and the best we've seen in the NBL.
Scoring records.
Since Andrew Gaze, because
Yep.
he's a Jet. He says, I'm dominating. I want to test the waters. We get told in the public
Yes.
that he's looking to go overseas and he's
Yes.
going to have all these massive offers.
Yeah.
Turns out that's not the case.
No.
He holds his ground. Okay, that doesn't all wash out. The Wildcats, if they had have held their nerve,
Yes.
can come back, or at the start of it, put it out there in the public.
Yeah.
He's going to test the open market, but we'd love to keep Bryce Cotton here if
That's
the
right.
opportunity arises. If
We
stuff
want-
doesn't come
What
up.
they should have just said is, we want first option. Like, seriously, if nothing else comes up, please come back. We will have you, because we would have him. It seems like a massive mismanagement of
He's
the whole
playing for the
situation.
LA 36ers.
If what he's saying is true, and there's no reason to believe it's not, then they've massively stuffed it up.
Oh, I
They've
agree.
Dropped the ball hugely.
Well, let's hear from Mark Arena, who is the owner of the Perth Wildcats, in relation to how long they would wait.
Our role is to build a team that could win a championship, and we felt, even now still feel that we had to move on and start building that team and that roster.
Building that team and that roster.
Interesting.
Okay, who have they added to their? Because we know they've got Elijah Pepper.
And they've signed Dylan Windler for
Dylan
extra
Windler.
seasons. Yes.
Yep.
And Sunday Detch is coming
So he's
back.
the big name. Yep.
Not Paddy Mills.
Not Patty Mills.
Not
they haven't
Paddy
spoken
Mills.
to Patty Mills.
No, it was a good story.
And then
but no.
there's another dude. So
There is.
they've picked up.
I think David Okwenda's back as well.
That's the one.
But not
That's the one.
massive names. And certainly, even if you
No,
were
they're
to
role
combine
players, Matt.
all of those people, you still do not have Bryce Cotton.
So from the organisation point of view, they're sitting there going, well, we can't wait all day
No.
for you. But surely they could have given him a different deadline.
But also, the Adelaide 36ers signed him last week. So you could still have signed somebody last week. You didn't, which was late May. You don't, them saying we need to know by March. Well, you don't, because the Adelaide 36ers have just scored him now. And they will be signing somebody in the next few weeks.
Which is after Months after.
Months after they said he had absolutely had to tell them.
They didn't have Paddy Mills. If they had Paddy Mills on the hook,
Yeah.
they would be in a good position to go, oh, well, here's a deadline. Bad luck. Here's Paddy Mills, everyone. And we'd move on.
Yeah. And ultimatums,
they don't have anyone.
Ultimatums, I don't think, help any situation, right? If they're like, you get your back up straight away. Hey, we need an answer within 2 days. Yeah.
Have you used it at home, Ross?
It's like
a bad move.
I get them at home.
You can have an ultimatum on somebody who is a development player or somebody who, is a first-year player. He's got the runs on the board. You bend over backwards to keep him. If you're trying to build a championship team, building it around Bryce Cotton is a pretty good strategy.
I would have thought so. There's only 5 on the field at one point. He's the best we've had ever.
Ever.
Jeez, I hope for the Wildcats' sake of things, they're able to pull something out of their arse, and that's what it's going to take. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah. They're going to have to throw some. Well, they've got a bit of money now to throw around because if they're not paying Bryce, but I don't know who you get. They don't just, they don't grow on trees.
No, they don't.
So, yeah.
It's a big call for the Wildcats. We'll see how it ends up. But, wow, it's good to hear this stuff behind the scenes because it was told that he was going to go and play in Japan.
Yeah.
It was told to us out in the general public that he decided to leave, and it wasn't the case.
The Wildcats have been controlling the narrative up until this point, so it is great to hear the other side, isn't it? Yep. I know. We're all furious.
Shaun Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.